I didn't even know that it had passed 12 o'clock and that it was New Year's until my mate sent me a message at 1 o'clock saying Happy New Year. I don't even know why that happened because I was so ready to get Christmas over and done with. Like, I was welcoming the new year. So, how? I don't even know. So, I thought I'd put out this little video as I'm sure that there are some people that are like me and that were in bed by 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve. Now, I'm 36, so I've done my fair share of going out for New Year's Eve. And I just wanted to reflect a little bit on what people have done this New Year's and whether or not it's been different for the past couple of New Year's. Because I tell you something now, back in the day when I was like, in my early 20s and I would go out to New Year's, I love drum and bass, so I would always look for the best drum and bass artists for the New Year's Eve shows, and one of my favourite places to go was Farringdon Fabric. It's well, I don't even know if it's there anymore, but it was a club called Fabric. If it's still there, it might be changed, but it was in Farringdon in London, and it was absolutely brilliant. And I remember the tickets for that bad boy being 40 quid. Right, sometimes 50 for Ministry of Sound. I think I went to Elephant and Castle Ministry of Sound New Year's. It was banging though, it was worth every single penny. But 40 quid for a New Year's Eve ticket back in 2000s. I'm wondering, what's the cost of it now? Because I also am not a drinker, right? I don't drink alcohol. I didn't drink alcohol when I was in my 20s. That wasn't my DOC. So I didn't spend the money that people would spend on alcohol and getting absolutely shit-faced, right? That was never me. I just don't like alcohol personally. So I saved money in that aspect. But I also didn't drive in my early 20s, so I spent money on getting the trains and things like that. So I was thinking about it, and I thought, how much money did I used to spend every single New Year's? Because I'd go out every year to make sure that I had a good New Year's, right? I just remember being there when, the DJ would be like, 10, 9, and they'd do their countdown to 12 o'clock, and everyone would, "Way, Happy New Year." That is very different from what I did this time. Like, I literally was just in bed watching TV, normal YouTube, every single thing that I do every night, and it just passed by me so quickly. How did that happen? I really want to know if anybody else either went to bed like super early, like me, or did you go out, right? These are the things I want to know. Did you go out? How much did it cost you? And now, are you like, you know what, I'm not doing it next year? Or were you super surprised that it didn't cost you as much because maybe you saved during the year, or you don't drink as much, or you went out to a different place or something like that? New Year's in general, there is so much hype around it. Right, so much hype. All the fireworks that people buy, they are super expensive as well. Like, I remember, again, I keep saying back in the day, right? Because I don't do these things now, right? I live on my own. I'm not going to go and buy a shit ton of fireworks and go and set them off in my own garden with no one here, right? So I remember back in the day where I would have my friends round and it would be us hosting, and we would go and buy the fireworks, and for decent ones, right, ones that actually went off for, let's say, 20 seconds, let's be real, as opposed to the pissy little ones that don't do much, you're looking at 80, 100, 150, 200 plus, just to get something that goes off into the sky for 10 minutes. Like, I love lights. I love fireworks. I love lights. I really, really do. But I can't imagine doing it now. I really can't imagine it. Like, it's just too much. It's just too much. We've just got over Christmas, right? And then you're forced into this. I spoke about it on a previous video about seasonal things and how things are shifting every single month to make sure that you buy things every single month. But I've never really just sat down and sort of thought about New Year's. It's always been a Christmas thing that most people talk about, right? But New Year's is very, very hyped as well. So I was really lucky actually this year because I genuinely thought that we was going to get loads of celebrations, fireworks going off, and, you know, me bar humbug sitting in my bed like, will you just shut up? I'm trying to watch my TV. But to my surprise, that didn't happen. Nobody, it felt like, celebrated it. I don't think anybody around here went out. I think everybody stayed at home. Nobody had fireworks. I don't even think there was any, like, you know when sometimes you have like town events where like your little town or your little city will put on like events and things like that. I don't think there was even that many this year. And even if there was, they weren't here. And I know it was last year. So it's very, very odd that, I don't know, I don't know. I seem to be seeing and feeling this weird energy shift that people are just not only done with Christmas, but genuinely done with New Year's as well. Like, I don't know what is happening. I just feel it. I absolutely feel it. Like, nobody celebrated it around here. I have no idea what the streets were like because, again, I was in bed by 9 p.m. So I don't know if there were people in the pubs, whether there was things like, I live in the countryside, so you have to drive to go anywhere, right? So I wouldn't have been able to hear it anyway if it was in a farther town away from me. Like, already the 3rd of January as well. Like, I wanted to get this video out for New Year's, you know? But I can't even believe that we're 3 days into it. It's the 3rd of January already. And I personally feel like I'm slacking. You know, one, with not realising that it's actually turned to New Year's. And two, with not putting down a plan or some sort of action that I need to write down in order to do for this year. I have started selling bits on eBay, so I've started making a little video about that, and I will obviously continue to make that, and that will come out whenever it's ready. That's kind of the only thing that I've actually done this year that I wanted to do. So I guess I'm putting this video out to kind of be a little bit of a accountability video for me as well, to be like, hey, yo, you put this video out on the 3rd, what have you done? It's now March, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to put this out there and say to anybody else, have you noticed that the decline in New Year hype? I don't know, maybe it's just me because I live in the countryside, and if you live in London or America and things like that, they're obviously going to be huge. But I don't know, I just felt like there is this weird vibe, this weird energy vibe where people are just like, don't care, just don't care. It's very odd. I would absolutely love to know what you plan to do for this year though. Are you like me and can't believe that the time has already gone 3 days away and you haven't done anything? Don't worry, I'm with you. We will use this space to make ourselves accountable. So comment down below if you plan to do something this year that's going to help you and start to actually, you know, make that change in your life and start taking action, because nothing changes if nothing changes. And then we can come back to this video and we can go, huh, we did that. Yes, W. I believe in you all. Good luck, love and light.